everybody, welcome back to the show. This is the Mental Breakdown. I'm your host, Joey Velez, and today we're going to be talking about one of the biggest challenges that athletes face, that people face, and it's not physical, but it's more of a mental challenge, and that's staying present during competition. Now, you've probably experienced this before, right? The game starts, you're locked in, but then something happens. Maybe it's a mistake, like maybe official misses a call, right? You start thinking about the score. Maybe you see scouts or your friends or your family in the stands, or you start thinking about what happens if I lose. Suddenly, you're not competing anymore. You're living in the past or you're worrying about the future. The reality is that peak performance only happens in the present moment. So think about it this way. Every competition only has one play happening at a time. One shot, one swing, one serve, one possession. Your body can only perform the action that's happening right now. But your mind loves to time travel. It replays the turnover you had 30 seconds ago. It jumps ahead to what happens if you miss the free throw. It starts calculating playoff scenarios or imagining what your coach is thinking. None of those thoughts help you execute the next skill. One phrase that I hear all the time is that your attention is your most valuable resource. Where your attention goes, your performance tends to follow. Now, how do we train ourselves to stay present? The first strategy is to control the controllables, right? There are countless things outside of your control during competition, whether that's, the weather, officiating, opponents, teammates, luck, or even how you're feeling physically. But there are always things that you can control, which is your effort, your attitude, your communication, your breathing, your preparation, and your next decision. So every time your mind drifts towards something you can't control, ask yourself, what's one thing I can influence right now? That question immediately brings your attention back to the present. The second strategy is to have a reset routine. Even elite athletes lose focus, right? Distraction is going to happen. The difference is that they're not mentally perfect, it's that they recover quickly. So your reset routine might take 5 seconds, right? Take one deep breath, relax your shoulders, say a cue word like, hey, next play, right here, right now, or attack, something like that. Then shift your eyes toward the next play, right? Something that's simple, it's repeatable, and it's effective. Instead of, carrying your last mistake into the next moment, you're giving yourself permission to move on. Now, the third strategy is to focus on process over outcome. Outcome goals absolutely matters. Winning absolutely matters. But during competition, outcomes are terrible places to put your attention. Imagine, you're standing over putt and you start thinking, I have to make this or we'll lose, right? Or stepping to the free throw line thinking, if I miss this, everybody's going to remember it. Those thoughts create pressure because they're focused on something that hasn't even happened yet. Instead, shift your attention to your process. If you're a golfer, maybe it's committing to your next target. For a baseball hitter, maybe it's saying and telling yourself, hey, see the ball early. For a quarterback, maybe it's reading the safety. For a runner, maybe it's maintaining your rhythm. The process is what produces the outcome. Finally, one thing to remember is that presence is a skill, right? It's not a personality trait. Some athletes assume that they're just naturally distracted, but staying present can be trained just like strength, just like speed, and just like endurance. Every practice is an opportunity. Every workout is an opportunity. Even everyday life gives you chances to build this skill, right? When you're eating, just eat. When you're talking to somebody, really listen to what they have to say. When you're lifting weights, focus on what each rep feels like, not the one you already finished or the one that's coming next. The more you often you practice bringing your attention back to the present in daily life, the easier it becomes when the pressure is at its highest. So, one challenge to think about as we wrap up today is that during your next competition, your next performance, whatever that is, don't try to be perfectly focused for the entire game because that's unrealistic. Instead, simply notice when your attention wanders, then calmly bring it back again and again and again. Okay? Mental performance isn't about never losing focus. It's about becoming faster at returning your focus when you get distracted. And over time, what you'll see is that those small returns add up, right? It leads to more consistent execution, better decision making, and ultimately better performance. You don't have to win the next quarter, the next inning, or the entire game. You only have to commit to this moment, this play, and this opportunity right now. And that's what I have for you all today. Okay, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to download, like, rate, and review the podcast. Share with your family and friends. It's good to get you guys another episode this week. I'll talk to y'all soon. And don't forget, today's a great day to make an impact on someone's life. All right, y'all. Have a good one.